There's always something that is bringing the Browns right into the center of the NFL universe. Right now, it's Shedeur Sanders, right? I mean, there is just so much content, so much debate. The Browns are coming off of a 3-14 season, but every time you turn on television, every time you turn on anything, NBC, ESPN, CBS, you name it, the Cleveland Browns are right there, front and center, and everyone's talking about Shedeur. So they have remained relevant even when they're not winning.
What if Mary Kay Cabot's passionate endorsement of Shedeur Sanders is the rallying cry that finally wakes up the Cleveland Browns, or the catalyst for a massive fan uprising against the front office? The longtime Browns insider, known for her no-nonsense coverage, has broken her silence in a way that's shaking the foundations of the franchise, going all in on Sanders as the future quarterback who's single-handedly keeping this team in the national spotlight. After a brutal 3-14 season that left fans disillusioned and the organization scrambling for answers, Cabot dropped a series of truth bombs declaring that Sanders is the only reason the Browns are still relevant in the NFL conversation. Without his magnetic presence and the buzz he generates, she argues, Cleveland would have faded into obscurity, just another struggling team lost in the shuffle of league news. But Cabot didn't stop at praising his star power. She unleashed a barrage of insights on everything from his undeniable talent to the Browns' mishandling of his fame, creating waves that have fans, analysts, and insiders buzzing. Is this the sign that Sanders is destined to shatter the infamous Browns quarterback curse, or proof that the team is fumbling yet another promising talent by snubbing him at QB3? With whispers of unequal opportunities, a locker room that's already embracing his leadership, and external pressure building like a storm, this story is packed with controversy, character revelations, and predictions that could redefine Cleveland's future. Let's dive deep into the frenzy that's turning Sanders into the most talked about player in the league and putting the Browns under the microscope like never before.
It was too much value to pass up there, a developmental quarterback that they could take a look at and just kind of see what they had. And if it didn't work out, then you move on from it.
Cabot kicked things off by breaking her silence during the Browns media day, making it abundantly clear that Sanders is the lifeline keeping this franchise in the headlines despite their recent failures. She pointed out that in a league where winning is everything, the Browns have managed to stay front and center on networks like ESPN, NBC, and CBS, and it's all thanks to Sanders. Every debate, every highlight reel, every hot take revolves around him. His arm talent, his family legacy, his off-field charisma that's drawing eyes from casual fans to hardcore analysts. Cabot's convinced he's the magnet pulling in attention, turning what could have been a forgettable offseason into a non-stop conversation. This isn't just about football, it's about relevance in a crowded NFL landscape, and Cabot's bold statement feels like a direct challenge to the front office. If Sanders is the spark that's keeping the team alive in the public eye, why not fan the flames by giving him more opportunities? Her words echo a growing sentiment among observers that the Browns need to capitalize on this buzz, not suppress it, especially as they gear up for a tough opener against the Bengals on September 7th, 2025.
Well, I think that this is a football team that really tries to kind of block out some of that noise or tell themselves that they can handle it, that they can handle the storm that's going to come with a player like Shedeur.
Then Cabot doubled down on why Sanders is simply too talented for the Browns to overlook, insisting he's a no-brainer risk whose value far outweighs the minimal investment of a fifth-round pick. She argued that passing on giving him a legitimate shot would be a colossal mistake, emphasizing that if he doesn't pan out, though she's confident he will, the team can always move on without much loss. Right now, his upside is screaming opportunity, with Cabot highlighting how his quick processing and arm strength could transform the offense into something dynamic. This comes amid ongoing rumors that the Browns tried to downplay his hype early in camp, but Cabot's pushing back hard, saying ignoring that raw talent would be short-sighted in a league where quarterbacks make or break franchises. It's a high-stakes bet, but one that could pay off hugely if Sanders lives up to the billing she's assigning him, especially considering his college stats at Colorado, over 3,200 yards and 27 touchdowns that showcased his ability to produce under pressure.
Because when they got to know Shedeur during the pre-draft process, they really liked him a lot as a human being. And I did too. I was out at the showcase in Colorado. I watched him move around Radio Row at the Super Bowl. And I really, really tried to figure out what kind of young man this was. I remember watching him on the red carpet at the NFL Honors Show, just everything. I took it all in. And I really ended up liking him as a person as well, and I still do.
Cabot pulled no punches when she addressed how the Browns have botched managing Sanders' immense fame, thinking they could control the narrative around a player who arrived with a ready-made fan army and spotlight. She explained that attempting to push him aside or shift the focus only backfires spectacularly, cranking up the scrutiny on the entire organization. The more they try to dim his star, the brighter it burns, drawing in more criticism, more debates, and more pressure from every corner. This ties directly into the fan theories swirling on X and Reddit that the Browns are deliberately snubbing him, keeping him buried at QB3 despite his potential to protect egos or avoid the full-blown Sanders family circus that's been building since his draft slide. Cabot's insight suggests the front office underestimated just how his presence would amplify every decision, turning routine depth chart choices into national controversies that dominate sports talk shows. It's a classic lesson in star power. You can't contain a phenomenon like Sanders without facing consequences, and the Browns are learning that the hard way as the external noise grows louder with each passing day.
Shedeur the person, and they have. I mean, he gets along great with all of the other quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, I always see those two guys laughing together and having a great time together. I just don't think inside the building it's been anywhere near what it's been outside.
Shifting to a more personal note, Cabot gushed about Sanders' character, revealing why the Browns didn't just draft him for his football skills, they genuinely liked him as a human being from the start. She's had first-hand glimpses during the pre-draft process, at events like the NFL Honors Red Carpet, Super Bowl Radio Row, and even the Colorado Showcase, where Sanders impressed with his maturity, humility, and genuine charm. Cabot stressed that inside the building, he's been a model teammate, building strong bonds with veterans like Joe Flacco. They're often spotted laughing and connecting during practices and meetings. This isn't manufactured hype, it's real locker room chemistry that's earning him respect at a rapid pace, something that's not easy for a rookie in a veteran-heavy room. For Cabot, this aura of positivity and professionalism will ultimately help him get the game time he deserves, as it sets him apart in a league full of egos and distractions. It's a refreshing perspective in an era where character can make or break a career, positioning Sanders as the complete package who's as solid off the field as he is promising on it, and it's why she's so confident in his long-term fit with the Browns.
Well, as far as being a teammate, he's doing a tremendous job with that. And I really like his personality. I've really enjoyed what I've seen and heard from him as a person, as a human being. So that's been really, really cool to watch him kind of blossom and grow here. I caught a moment with him.
Cabot then broke down the stark contrast between Sanders the person and the external chaos swirling around him, noting that he's been absolutely flawless within the Browns organization. No complaints, no drama, just head-down work. He's getting along great with everyone in the quarterback room, including Flacco, and his approach has been nothing short of professional. But the real heat, according to Cabot, comes from his vocal fans and the built-in audience that follows him everywhere. They won't let any perceived slight or unfair treatment slide, amplifying every decision into a major issue that puts additional pressure on the team. Sanders himself hasn't made a fuss about his QB3 role or limited reps. He's focused on improvement and team success, but his supporters are relentless, turning social media into a battlefield where every depth chart update is dissected. This dynamic is testing the Browns' resolve, as Cabot believes the fans' passion is a double-edged sword. It's keeping the team relevant, but it's also creating headaches that the front office has to manage carefully to avoid a full-blown backlash.
And I think it's a good sign. I think he got rewarded for working really, really hard and doing a really nice job on everything. And he was able to go out there and go 2 for 3 in that session. He finished it off with 2 completions against some of the best defenders in the NFL. So I just thought that was a really good sign for him.
Cabot highlighted Sanders' superpowers, his exceptional arm strength and lightning-quick processing speed that set him apart from the pack, even if he's not yet elite in every single aspect of the game. She's confident these traits are his ticket to becoming the starting quarterback once Joe Flacco's tenure naturally winds down, predicting a timeline where his skills take center stage and lead the offense. Cabot's seen the flashes in training camp and believes his solid all-around game, from accuracy to decision-making, will shine through with more experience. This optimism fuels speculation among fans that Sanders is the long-awaited answer to Cleveland's quarterback woes. But it comes with a practical caveat. The Browns' grueling early schedule, packed with defensive juggernauts like the Bengals and Ravens, favors veterans like Flacco for now, so patience is key. Still, her vision of Sanders as the heir apparent has ignited dreams of a curse-breaking intriguing era where the Browns finally find stability under center. Cabot's own evolution is particularly telling. She was once one of Sanders' harshest critics, questioning his readiness and fit, but now she's fully in his corner, impressed by his leadership qualities, maturity, and the way he's earning teammate respect at lightning speed. She's seen how he's turned skepticism into support through sheer performance and personality, a rare feat for any rookie in the cutthroat NFL. For Cabot, it's not just about his impressive arm or pinpoint accuracy, it's about how he carries himself, the intangible leadership traits that stand out even among seasoned veterans. This shift from critic to advocate underscores Sanders' growth, turning doubters into believers, and highlighting why he's quickly becoming a locker room favorite. It's a testament to his character and work ethic that even a seasoned insider like Cabot has done a complete 180, now championing him as the player who could change everything for the Browns. Cabot also zeroed in on how Sanders earned his first-team reps through pure grit and performance, not because of media pressure or hype. She recalled catching a moment in camp where the noise about his limited snaps was deafening, but Sanders stayed focused, putting in extra work that paid off with a strong session, going 2 for 3 against top defenders. Cabot made it clear this wasn't handed to him. It was rewarded for his tireless effort, sharp focus, and determination to improve every day. It's a good sign for his future, she argued, showing he's not relying on his last name but on hard work to climb the ladder. This counters the narratives that his opportunities are manufactured, emphasizing that Sanders is proving himself step by step in a competitive environment. The fan and media backlash has been intense and unrelenting, with many viewing Sanders' QB3 role as a blatant snub that ignores his raw talent and potential. X and Reddit are flooded with outrage, memes calling it a setup to fail with limited reps and third-string linemen in key games, and demands for him to start over Flacco or Gabriel. One viral thread tied it to the Browns' infamous curse, listing the 40 starters since 1999, and wondering if Sanders will be the next victim. Diehards rally behind Cabot's praise, comparing Sanders to Brock Purdy's unexpected rise from last pick to star, arguing he needs a similar patient path but with more trust from the coaching staff. Analysts like Stephen A. Smith note Dion's visible devastation over the draft slide, but praise Sanders' resilience, while Dan Orlovsky urges the Browns to give him more snaps to hone his processing. The divide is sharp and passionate. Supporters see a star being suppressed to protect egos or avoid the Sanders family spotlight, while haters say he needs more polish after the Rams debacle. This noise keeps Sanders trending, turning every practice update into a debate and amplifying the pressure on Stefanski and Barry to act. Wrapping this whirlwind saga, Mary Kay Cabot's endorsement paints Shedeur Sanders as the Browns' future savior, but the road ahead is filled with hurdles that could make or break his rise. Is he the one to finally shatter the curse? Or will the perceived snub bury him in Cleveland's long history of quarterback mishaps? One thing's for sure, his spotlight isn't dimming anytime soon. What's your take? Does Cabot's support signal Sanders' inevitable takeover, or is the Browns handling a recipe for disaster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, share if you think he's the future QB1, and let's debate if the fans' passion will force the team's hand, or if patience is the key to unlocking his potential.